I said I was going to start a mini series based on basically mistakes and things that we've made in the past and things that we've learned from that, in hope that this may help others to may perhaps learn from our mistakes before they make them themselves, because to be honest, that's an ideal scenario for people. The first one for me would be reliance on people. And that's not to say it's like a trust thing necessarily. It is more about trying to know a little bit more about things yourself rather than just relying on others. My example is very niche, to be fair, and this is probably, fingers crossed, hopefully not going to happen to anyone. But mine was with my dad. Anyone who's been following us for a while knows that I lost my dad back in 2020. I talk about it occasionally, and he basically was doing my accounting when I started out. He was part time, so he helped me with my accounts and all that sort of stuff. And he kind of completely did everything, and I left that to him. And I knew nothing about it because that's not my game. I was doing the electrics, he was helping me with that, just in the background. Unfortunately, when we lost him, it was right in the middle. It was I'm not going to go into details, but it was pretty sudden. There was a small overlap of time where we knew what was going on. And it was also right in the middle of a tax return he was doing for me. And it basically plunged everything into chaos. Halfway through a tax return, no way of asking any questions. It was a disaster. Everything went completely awry, and I knew nothing that was going on, and it caused me months and months of problems. So the lesson would be, obviously you need people to do stuff, because being electricians, that's not our field. I do as much as I can now just to try and keep my nose and just see what's going on for that reason. But it's more about just understanding what's going on, or perhaps knowing where to go to find the information should something go on. I mean, like I said, my case was pretty extreme. It could just be that, you've fallen out with someone who does things like that, or any sort of part of the trade that you rely on, even if it's another tradesperson that you work with all the time. They're giving you loads and loads of work, and that's your only source of work, and then all of a sudden they dry up, or they decide they don't want to use you anymore, and you're completely stuck. You've got to have options. You've got to have a bit more information about what's going on, just to help you prepare for stuff like that. Like I said, my scenario is very niche, but there's loads of different ways you can use this and turn it to perhaps your own scenario. But it's more just about the information. In my case, I should have known a lot more what was going on. I was kind of naive to the fact that was, that wasn't my area, until it was too late, and it really bit me hard in many ways, because obviously it was a difficult situation as it was, but then I was really left in it as well. So that would definitely be a prime piece of advice, and that was something we learned from. Since then, I've tried to get a lot more involved. Still not great at it, but I do try, just so I'm more prepared. And I would definitely advise anyone else out there in any of those sort of situations, or any way, like I said, you can relate this to your own experiences, but definitely try and know a little bit more about what's going on.